It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show here in the mothership, which is Studio 22, driven by the one and only puppet master Mark Tate. He's the best driver I know in the universe. He knows how to take us where we need to go, and he's going to do it today in our special Off the Rails segment. Let me remind you that I have to deal with Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians. Put her on there, Mark. Let everybody see her. There she is.
You have to deal with me?
With the crown on her head. That halo.
No way. Oh, my gosh.
That black crown covered in mother of pearl. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. Herbert the silent deer looks over in awe. She prints off the headlines that reminds me just how crazy the world has become. And let me just tell you, it's absolutely insane, which is one of the reasons why if you go to watchchad.com, you will see multiple dates across America where we are continually adding my Am I Crazy comedy tour live shows. And I want you to go get tickets and join us in a city near you. Now, you can also get the podcast there. You can get podcast merch, all kind of fun stuff. So go to watchchad.com. What I want to remind you guys is that we're really trying to take this mothership to a higher level. We want to be at the top. The podcast world, we want to look back at all of these crazy people like Stu Burgier and Glenn Beck and Pat Gray and Ali Stuckey and Lauren Chin and whoever else works for the Blaze. And we want to be the best. We want to be the best. Not really. We don't care. We love all of those guys. But we do want your support by you helping us out by sharing these YouTube videos or the podcast wherever they are offered. We need the ratings, we need the reviews, and we appreciate all the good ones that you guys do. Y'all are faithful supporters. Now, I mentioned all those names earlier. You need to get those voices, and you need to get them all in one unadulterated place where you will not have your free speech filtered, and that's by going to blazetv.com/Chad. Get it right now and subscribe. And then help us not to suck, okay? That's what I'm asking. Let me tell you what does suck, losing your hair. If you're a guy, there's nothing worse. The older we get, we start to lose our hair because the levels of certain hormones start to drop in our body. What doesn't suck is being able to fix that problem and stopping the hair loss from the comfort of your own couch sitting right there at home. If you're losing your hair, you got to know about a company called Keeps. You've heard me talk about it, and I'm telling you they're fantastic because they offer the two versions of generic FDA-approved hormones that help you stop hair loss. And by doing that, it saves you an absolute fortune. Here's what you do. You go to keeps.com/loss. You answer a few questions online. You snap a few pictures of your head. You send them in, and a doctor that is licensed is going to review everything and recommend a treatment plan for you, and then it's going to be shipped discreetly to your door. It's simple. You keep wondering, will it work? Well, 66% of users have said that they have experienced new hair regrowth. And I got you half off, so go to keeps.com/loss to get your first treatment. 50% off. Half off, folks. Go to keeps.com/loss. Do it now, and we'll see you in a minute. Hey, folks, sitting in the hot seat today, hanging out is BlazeTV, Blaze Media, very own Rob Eno. Rob, welcome. Studio 22. Good to have you. This is your first time in the new Studio 22.
It's my first time in the chair. I was at the bar.
True.
For one of the Epstein
Deals.
specials.
Oh yeah. Somewhere out there, Epstein lurks. Epstein. He's dead.
He might still be alive.
He's dead. He's dead, man. Thanks for joining us on an Off the Rails deal. We were just talking about, of course, the new show Stu Does America. Stu does everything. But Stu Does America. These pins came out, and this was kind of your brainchild, wasn't it? Nancy Pelosi sucks.
It was Stu's brainchild, but we made it happen.
You made it happen.
We made it happen. So we're selling.
It's a good
lots
quality
of them.
pin.
It is a quality pen. You go to nancypelosisuckspen.com.
nancypelosisuckspen.com.
And in honor of her the year of her birth, $19.40. You can buy yourself one of those pens. We got some left. So
I love it, dude. That's awesome. Y'all sold a ton of those things too. I'm proud of you. I love capitalism.
Capitalism is great. It's unbelievable. Watching those orders come in.
I always tell people you got to go to shop.blazemedia.com. Get on the collections. Find the people you like. Everybody's got stuff on there. My current favorite on mine is Y'all Elitists Are Dumb. And my all-time favorite will be F the Left. It's crude. It just means forgive the left. and it just says everything that I feel.
Exactly. I love it.
Yeah.
Love and that's been one of the bigger sellers.
Have you paid attention to the responses? Like, we put out a Blaze article last week talking about the caller that called into Rush Limbaugh and wanted to donate a lung, right?
Yeah,
and
unbelievable.
Of course, Rush got emotional about it and the whole thing. And we posted that Blaze.com article, and it ran on my Facebook, on my Twitter, the responses from people on the left that are just saying, I'm going to dance when he dies. I wish this guy would just go ahead and kick the bucket. I mean, that's why I put a shirt out that says, okay, F the left. Those are the people I'm talking about.
Right, because it's absolutely crazy. You know, they say that we're the mean ones, that Trump's the mean one. They're the ones that actually call for people to die. I mean, there's some crazies on our side, too, but I don't think it's as wide open. I mean, people think that Rush Limbaugh is evil in person.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite is, Rush Limbaugh's a racist. Why would he have an African-American man be his producer
for years,
and his second in command for 30-some-odd years?
Yeah. Snerdley.
You know?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Snerdley's black.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
And I like how Snerdley came out on Twitter saying, show me. You give me the evidence where he's a racist. You show me where. And by the way, folks, bigot is spelled B-I-G-O-T, all right? It's not I-T. That's something that if you're going to insult us, please do it with proper grammar.
Exactly.
You know? Anyway, my entire family's supposed to get cancer this year based on the responses I've gotten. Sarah Gonzalez, News and Why It Matters, was just encouraged to eat a bullet the other day.
Oh, that's fun.
I mean, anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We know the world is crazy, and that's why we do these off-the-rails episodes, kicking it off with crazy. And this was one I don't understand. Some guy flying into the U.S. from Vietnam, which we saw that somebody flew into Maryland the other day with a bag full of birds.
Right.
That got confiscated. I don't know why anybody. They said it was cat food.
He said it was cat food. He wanted to feed the birds to his cat, and they stopped it because of the avian flu.
Yeah.
They just didn't want the avian flu coming into the United States. See, these things fascinate me. You ever watch that show? I think it's on Discovery or something like that, where they do the border patrol and they show the airports and like the stuff that people are trying to bring in, and half the stuff they can bring in legally, and they just think they can't, so they don't tell them about it, and that's when they get in trouble because you're like lying to the guy. But yeah, you see this kind of thing all the time where they're like trying to bring in foodstuffs and it's amazing. It's pork. I don't understand why pork is prohibited.
And that's the news story is the guy, he brought in pork in noodle cups, and that was what he got stopped for here in Washington D.C. You know, the little noodle cups, I eat them sometimes in the ramen or whatever.
Right.
And they could tell that it had taken the cap off of it, and he refilled it with pork sausages. And I'm like, why? We got pork sausage here.
We do, but sometimes maybe it's a better pork sausage. I mean, I remember the Jamón Ibérico is like the super ham from Spain.
Yeah.
And you could you couldn't get it in the United States until like 8 years ago. And it's like this really expensive ham, and it's kind of like a prosciutto. But even from Spain, they weren't letting it. I don't get the whole why you can't bring certain stuff in. It just
I
crazy.
know that a couple of years ago they caught the guy trying to bring all the lion penises in and stuff like that because they wanted to mix that in the soup. That made them supposedly more virile and that kind of thing. And they brought in, there were like several hundred of different kind of animal dicks. I don't know, but that's weird. Like
that's very weird.
Like that's weird, but that's a cultural thing in some places. You got to remember, Americans, cultures are weird out there. They do all kind of weird stuff. But let me just tell you the gross factor of it, because I was on a plane years ago flying back, and all of a sudden, the flight attendant crew just started going crazy, right? Which is never a good thing. I don't care what you're in the middle of. If you're in turbulence, always look at the flight attendant. If the flight attendant is panicking, you panic. Well, they all of a sudden got into a tizzy, and you could smell something from the back of the plane, and it was horrid. It was horrid. I was like, oh, God, somebody's vomited or something. So they were bringing all the people up, and they were going through with these little perfume vials, which apparently they use to make the plane smell better every now and then. They were going back there. They moved all the people up, putting it back there, and literally and I got a pretty strong stomach and stuff, but I was having to put my shirt over my face. And what had happened was these people packed all of these like starfish and sand dollars and seashells and stuff in a bag, and they had the water in it as well, the salt water, and this thing busted. And that's what happened. It was so rotted in there, and they were traveling back with it in a carry-on, and it busted in their deal. and it was just nauseous. So, if you're traveling overseas, man, don't try to sneak anything back in, right? One time, and I will tell you this, one time I accidentally smuggled some marijuana back into the country.
Oops.
Total accident. It was, hands down. Y'all know that's not my drug of choice. But there was a little branch of marijuana stuck in a koozie that somebody had stuck in there, and it wound up in my suitcase, and I came back from Jamaica. Of course. Thank God I'm not in jail today. Speaking of going to jail, everybody's seen this one. We ran this one on Blaze as well. It's on our Facebook. Ex-New York PD cop got punched at a Nashville birthday party because they thought he was wearing a MAGA hat. He was just wearing a red hat. So they pulled him around and punched him in the face, bloodied him. And so he was celebrating his 50th birthday with his wife and friends at the stage on Broadway. I've been to the stage many, many times. Right down there on Lower Broadway in Nashville, tourist attraction. If you've ever seen the movie Country Strong, at the beginning of the movie, that's where they filmed that, right there in the stage. And this woman just hauled off and smacked him. Can you imagine doing that? I mean, the audacity.
Right. Because it's a red hat.
Yeah.
The people on the left are crazy.
They're nuts, dude.
They're
F the left.
Absolutely nuts. F the left. Because, you walk down with a red hat when you got a Phillies hat on. I mean, what if the guy had like a Phillies hat on?
Yeah.
It's just red and they smack him. It's...
Yeah.
And this happens all the time. They're actually some of our best performing stories on the Blade. Insert person name hits person with red hat.
Yeah.
Is like some of the best performing stuff. Our audience loves to read it because it shows how absolutely, utterly crazy the left is. And it shows how much Donald Trump just gets under their skin for some reason.
I keep telling people over and over, I'm like, stop telling me what you hate about us and tell us what you love about the Democratic Party. And they don't have any of that. Right? They only have to do it by comparison, and ultimately it boils down to Trump is bad.
Right.
That's all they have.
Orange man bad.
And I have people who get on to me from time to time, and they say, well, not from time to time. It's basically every day, every hour of the day. And they say, well, you're divisive. You're part of the problem for posting stories like this. And I'm like, no. Charlie Kirk sat in that chair last week, and he told us, he said, and I've said it over and over, in 2020, you're going to see more acts of violence. We just saw a guy drive a van through a tent of people trying to register voters for the conservatives, for Republicans.
Right.
You should be warned about this. This is happening.
Know. The Antifa people in Portland, you've got Bernie has not fired people on his staff that have been caught saying that they will commit violence if Bernie's not the nominee.
Right. Right.
We have this on tape. It wasn't taken out of context. It was the full tape. It's the stuff that James O'Keefe did with Project Veritas, and Bernie will not fire these people.
Yeah.
I mean, what happens, and I think where you're going to see it is what happens if somehow Mike Bloomberg takes the Democratic nomination from Bernie Sanders in Milwaukee.
A billionaire beats a socialist.
Yeah, it's going to burn.
A billionaire beats a socialist, and you're exactly right. It will burn. It will burn. And I don't think Bernie's going to get the nomination because I think you're going to get a brokered convention. I think it's going to be a split deal, divided. They don't want Bernie.
Right, absolutely not.
He's not an establishment guy. He's dangerous. He's especially dangerous to the establishment. That's why, sliding Biden, he's out. I mean, he's gone. I mean, you can't finish fifth in Iowa
and New Hampshire,
and not even show up in New Hampshire.
Right.
And then just go straight to South Carolina. And you're 100% dependent on the black vote in South Carolina, or you're not going to get anything, And so hopefully Corn Pop will show up for Joe Biden. But last I saw that Corn Pop died, so he's out. Of course, that was Virginia. But whatever. If Biden doesn't get the nomination, and I just don't see how he will.
No, there's no way that he's getting the nomination. He's done.
So get ready, folks.
It's going to be, is Pete going to get it?
Yeah.
I mean, Pete's not going to play well in the South.
No.
Black people do not like Pete.
They don't like him. And most in the black community are people of faith. They don't like the idea of a gay president.
Right.
So that's just not going to go. I mean, it's just real talk, folks. They don't like that. That's the way it goes. But I'm just telling you, folks, we put those articles up there about stories like this because you got to be aware. That's the world we live in today. Absolutely. I mean, I put out shirts. We take them on the road with us when I go do live shows. We have them on my website. We put stuff out there. There's very pro-Trump, it's very all these things. And people are like, and the stuff we sell on the Blaze store, a lot of times people are like, well, I can't wear that. Somebody might. For me, I'm like, hell yeah. I mean, let's expose it for what it is.
Right. You can definitely wear whatever you want in this country. And if somebody attacks you, you become an internet sensation, I guess, But it's like, you shouldn't be afraid as a conservative to be a conservative and be open about being a conservative.
Yeah.
And it's sad that, like, even people here in Texas probably feel that way, that they can't openly say that they're a conservative. It's I come from New England, I come from Massachusetts, and I never had a problem with it, but there's some people that'll hide it. All 7 of us in a phone booth.
That's why I love seeing guys like David Harris, who's 6'4" and jacked and black, and he walks through the airport with all of his MAGA stuff on, just kind of daring them. Are you Catholic?
I am a lapsed Catholic.
You're
I'm
a
not a very
Catholic.
good Catholic, but yes, I am Catholic.
I don't blame you. This is one where I wish that Party Foul Steve was back in the studio, because he loves to piss. He doesn't mean to. He just by nature pisses off the Catholics because he's Steve, and he commits party fouls, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. But we did this story about Pope Francis, how they were considering ordaining men who were married down in the Amazon because they just didn't have any celibate single men that they could make priests.
Right.
And the people can't get mass every week. And so Francis has come out and said, nah, we're not doing that. Dismiss the proposal. Forget the mass. Go to hell.
It's absolutely insane, too, because, I mean, the whole reason that it's not doctrinal, right? It's not. Right. It's not anything that's in the Bible. They try to say that it's because Jesus was celibate, so you're trying to be Jesus, that it's apostolic succession. But most of the apostles were married. Yeah. I mean, we know this.
Yeah.
And it was basically to stop church lands from being, taken over by these priest kids.
Yeah.
That's what it was for.
That's right. They didn't want them to become a ruling class.
Right. So that's exactly what it's for. And in today's day and age, I mean, in the Catholic Church, if you are an Episcopal priest and you bring your congregation to Catholicism, they all get confirmed immediately. Yeah. They let that happen, and the priest gets to stay married. In Greenville, South Carolina, where I was living, you used to live in the area.
Hang tight. We're going to finish that thought. We got to go to a quick break. Listen, the mainstream media, I don't mean to interrupt you, Rob. We got to do this. Big tech companies, Facebook, Twitter, even big mobile companies are all in bed with the left. We got to support those companies that stand with us. Patriot Mobile is one. It's the only cell service that donates a portion of your monthly bill to organizations fighting for the values you believe in, like the right to life, bear arms, life, religious liberty, and supporting veterans, things we're talking about right now. Listen, starting at $25, Patriot Mobile plans to come with unlimited talk, text, and the same reliable nationwide service with no hidden fees. I know switching cell phone carriers is scary, but Patriot Mobile makes it easy. You can keep your number, bring your own phone, or buy a new one and get the same reliable nationwide service starting at just $25. Plans come with unlimited talk, text, same reliable nationwide service with no hidden fees. So go to patriotmobile.com/Chad and get free activation when you use offer code Chad, plus a free gift when you open a new line. Call their U.S. number. Customer service team will answer you in English, 972-PATRIOT. We need you to stick together with us. Join the fight. Join patriotmobile.com/Chad. We'll be right back. So, all right. So I want to finish that thought. So you were telling me Greenville, South Carolina, which is basically back home for me.
Right.
You got a married...
It's a married Catholic priest who was an Anglican, or I think he actually might have been an Anglican priest from the UK.
Yeah.
Who's come over, transferred to a Catholic priest. He was allowed to stay married. And he has one of the most vibrant Catholic churches in the upstate of South Carolina. And they just built a brand new church. It's gorgeous, a Romanesque architecture, really traditional church, not, one of the new, non-stained glass windows, 60s modern architecture churches. It's like a traditional Catholic church that they built, and he is he's a big writer in the Catholic faith. He's got a lot of published books, but he's married.
Well, I hope he enjoys it because he's going to hell. That's it. He's anathema. He's accursed. Condemned. Blasphemy. I don't get it. I mean, I think anything that can marry should marry. Anything that can mate should mate. I think it leads to a lot of different problems. But I get you. I get you. And that's the whole reason with this Amazon thing is they're scared because they're afraid it's going to lead to the change in the tradition. That's that age-old commitment of celibacy among the priests. So anyway, but again, like everybody else, they got progressives.
So
they got the progressives. Speaking of churches. This moron, Louisiana man. I always love how they qualify everything with Florida man, Ohio man, Alabama man, Louisiana man. He's guilty of torching 3 predominantly black churches, 2019. And then the moron bragged about him online for his black metal image. What is that, Candace? Black metal. Is that a thing? Is that like an organization or a...
See, I thought it was like... music related? Maybe I'm greatly mistaken.
I think it's like black metal music.
Yeah.
Like he's hardcore.
Music. Yeah, like super hardcore.
Yeah, like
Insane
he's
Clown
guar.
Posse, but just like worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to a lot of Matchbox 20, is what you're saying. Okay. No. It's 3 a.m. That's a different band right there. Oh, they do sing 3 a.m.
But he did use a Matchbox.
It's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. 22 years old. He just ruined his life is what he did. Opelousas area there in Louisiana. There is a deal out there, kids, called the Church Arson Prevention Act because this has been a deal over the years. And, so he was inspired to torch the churches by a black metal artist. So I believe that's probably what we're talking about, who did similar crimes in Norway. This guy, he just went out there and set it on fire and then decided to put it on social media. Real good job. So now guess what he gets? 70 years in prison, Rob.
It's absolutely unbelievable. You know the part that gets me on this? The libertarian that I am? What does the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms have to do with like a state-level crime in Louisiana? Well, I didn't know they were alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and arson.
Yeah.
But no,
I think the ATF has kind of become a catch-all in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Anything the FBI or the DEA doesn't do, the ATF gets.
It's very intrusive, in my opinion. Just ask David Koresh. Anyway, he's going to get a lot of black metal. He's going to be behind black metal bars and probably get some other hard black things. 70 years in prison. You just ruined your life, man. That's brutal.
It's absolutely. I mean, I don't get what brings somebody. He wanted what, street cred,
I guess.
So that's why he's there are actually people that are like, yeah, man, go and burn a church.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even think it mattered that it was a predominantly black church. I think he was just looking for a church and it just happened to be what it's in his neighborhood.
Think so?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. It's just dumb. It's crazy.
It's stupidity.
And who knows? Like if the media, if it just happened to be a predominantly black church, and he didn't mean to do it that way, like that kind of pisses me off with the media that they brought that up.
Right.
Like now it's a racist hate
Well,
crime.
I'm not thinking there's many predominantly black churches in Norway.
No, that's true.
Which is what he was copying.
It's true. Yeah. So good point, Robbie. That's why you do what you do for the Blaze right there. Here's a favorite one. Let's talk about setting things on fire. This is my favorite off-the-rails story, and we're going to spend a minute on this one, Candace. This one's fantastic. You want to talk about privilege? Well, let's talk about Chinese privilege, all right? Yeah, they got the Kung Flu. They got the Wuhan virus. I called you Wuhan earlier today.
And I'm like, no, it's COVID-9. We can't be racist.
Is it COVID-9 or 19?
19, COVID-19.
Yeah, COVID-19. You say that's COVID-19 to you. Yeah, that's funny. Which again, I think is a massive cover-up with this whole Wuhan thing and the coronavirus. There was a Chinese guy. It was his birthday. And they weren't going to let him have his birthday banquet, his birthday party. He had reserved like 10 tables in Chongqing. And the state news agency, Xinhua, they reported this. Because of the epidemic, they said, no, you can't have the party. So he wrapped himself in firecrackers and poured gasoline on himself and he's going to set himself on fire. Like, I don't know why you need the firecrackers.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Well, it's Chinese New Year. They got a lot of them hanging around.
I guess. I mean, wrapped them around his body, poured gas on his chest, held up a lighter in an attempt to threaten them into agreeing. So It says the actions prevented town and village cadres from carrying out epidemic prevention and control work. They should have just shot him in the head. It's China. Why not? I mean, they're killing everybody
what his punishment
else.
is going to be is they're going to wrap him in firecrackers, put gasoline on him,
when you get
set him off. Yeah.
I mean, when you get the coronavirus and die, they're going to set you on fire anyway. So, the whole deal.
My favorite part of this story is this is a New York Post story, right? So this isn't I can't say it as well as you are, the Xinhua news agency. It says, as a result of the man's selfish stunt, they're like going into the Chinese oppressive government's wording in the New York Post. It's crazy. But on this whole Wuhan thing, I'm with you, by the way.
Yeah.
So when this happens, me being me, the first thing I type in is bioweapons facility Wuhan.
Mm-hmm.
In 2017, they opened up a biolab in the city of Wuhan that in Nature magazine, somebody was concerned that they didn't really need one in China, and they were concerned that it was a front for bioweapons lab.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why that wasn't, and then when people tried to put that in the news, they like shut it down. Like like CNN, all of them, no, you can't talk about that. That's unfounded claims. There's a potential bioweapons lab in the place where it starts.
Yeah. I was laughing the other day on Twitter because somebody was making jokes, and I think you chimed in and said, "Oh, that's real funny till we all die from it." Robino for the buzzkill right there. Maybe it is time to thin the herd. I don't know. Maybe you got people punching people in MAGA hats, or even red hats, not even MAGA hats. You got people setting themselves on fire because they can't have a birthday party. You got AOC. Maybe it's time to thin the herd.
I think it is.
The problem is we're going to thin the wrong ones.
I know, it'll be us.
I mean, my cholesterol is probably going to get me before the bird flu does. But, people are smuggling sausages and birds into the country. Come on. These are the days that I just want to slow the planet down. You got, speaking of AOC and her, she created a whole new system of economics with Milton Keynes.
So I'm again going to bring the Massachusetts thing up. I'm a college hockey fan, right? And we have a chant in Hockey East where when you're playing BU, it's you say "sucks to be you."
Yeah.
And you know what? It does, because I don't know what she paid for. She has an economics degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
She went to one of the most prestigious universities in the Northeast. Yeah. Got an economics degree and doesn't know who Maynard Keynes is. Yeah. And doesn't know who Milton Friedman is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
She's a moron. I heard she's a slut. That's what I heard. Yeah, yesterday after I did my little rant on there about this whole economics thing, a guy commented and he said that, and I don't have any problem believing it. Yeah. I don't have any problem believing it. This guy said that he and his father had just played golf that day with a guy that went to school with her, and he just told story after story. And I'm like, okay, I could see it.
The BU girls.
It's a joke, people, but it's true. They did say that. They did say that, and I don't have a problem. I've seen things. But, yeah, now she wants to be a guest judge, or she's going to be a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race. So that's fun. I mean, I think that's more up her alley, right? RuPaul, as you know, is the drag queen, whatever. And they do this whole thing where they bring all the queens out and let them. I can't even talk about this shit. I really can't, Rob. I can't. I'm
just glad that she has time to take away from the pressing issues.
I mean,
of billionaires ruining America.
Yeah,
to go on with RuPaul.
Yeah, thank God the Green New Deal and all that, and drag queens fart. Let's. I don't know. I'm delirious at this point. I'm delirious with the off the rails stupidity here. It's just crazy. So that movie, The Hunt's coming back. You remember they banned that one, or they postponed it, or whatever, canceled it, about where kind of they go after the deplorables. They put them out there in a field, and the elites get to hunt them. They get to hunt the people. So got Hillary Swank in it. That's fun. So they're going to do it in March. Is that when they're doing it? Yeah, in March.
It says March.
They're going to release it because they didn't last time. The last time I was like, just release it. Who cares? You going to go see it, Candace? No, that's not your thing?
I think that one I'll miss, unfortunately.
You think so?
I think I'm busy all that month.
Would you watch it?
I'd probably watch
I'll
it.
watch it. I don't know
because I think what's going to end up happening, right, is the conservators are going to end up being the heroes at the end of the day.
The hunted wins, right?
The hunted wins, yeah. Because that's how those. It's formulaic. That's how those always work. So the conservatives,
but it'll probably kill all of the. I'm imagining. Here's the way I see that movie going. They will kill all of the narrow-minded, bigoted conservatives. It will be that one woke one that realizes the error.
Bill Kristol will survive.
Joe Walsh. It'll be one of those who just realizes the error of their ways, and. It'll be a Morning Joe kind of thing where all of a sudden, no, I realize I was wrong. And that'll be the only one that survives. Hey, we will be back in a second. Hold tight. I looked up thinking, you know what, Rob? I always feel like when we do these episodes, it's just a big old bitch fest of me complaining about a lot of different things. But there's a lot of things worth complaining about. There really is. Disneyland. Yeah, I used to love going to Disney World. I've never been to Disneyland.
I've been to Disneyland once, but I'm a Disney World guy. I'm a Disney World guy.
Yeah, I love Disney World.
Yeah.
I used to love it. Take my kids there when they were smaller. And, I've done shows in Anaheim, and hopefully we'll do it again right there at Disneyland. And the whole thing has always been overpriced. But now Disneyland, their ticket prices are over $200 a day. That ain't for the family. That's for you.
No,
that's a
you're
day
absolutely
pass for you. And then you got to pay that for everybody else to go in there. That's ridiculous.
It is kind of ridiculous. I went at Christmas. So they have they've been doing the different pricing at Disney World, I think, for a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really weird is they tighten down the window when you can use your tickets now. I bought tickets for Christmas week, and it was like $520 for 3 days.
Yeah.
For the park. So I understand that's close to this $200 a day.
Yeah.
But I was an idiot and paid. But I liked it, and I went to the Star Wars land and stuff like that. But one of the things that if you're a California resident, you're a Florida resident, getting those passes are relatively cheap. I mean, it's saying here that you can get the select pass, the most affordable annual pass, is $419, and that's for the year. There's going to be some blacked out dates. You're not going to be able to go during Christmas. You're not going to be able to go on weekends, every weekend maybe. And then they've got this other one, which I think this Premier Pass is the one that if you spend $2,000, you can go to either park. It's basically good at like every Disney park in the world, and you can go in. But it's amazing, and the pricing's weird too, right? Because to get the 1 day pass is like $100. To get a 4 day pass is like $419 normally, something like that. That's what it was. I went for 12 days in 2015. My 12-day pass was like $490.
Look at you!
It just
Look at you. You're like a Disney fiend.
Yeah, it goes around in this office, I'll tell you.
Let me tell you something. The only thing that I ever cared about was when my kids were little, and I just liked seeing the wonder on their face. I loved watching them kind of enjoy it. Now, I'm like, now that they're older, screw it. I'm out, Mickey. I don't want anything to do with it.
The Star Wars land is amazing.
Oh, I get that.
It's amazing.
It's always screamed excellence. Everything they do is just pure excellence, and that I've admired. I enjoy stuff like that.
But yeah, I don't know how you take a family. I have no idea how you take a family.
I can remember the first time we ever took my two oldest girls when they were little. We took them to Disney World for, I think we were there for like 6 days, a week, something like that. We got a deal. It was a super deal. And we even stayed on the park at the Animal Kingdom Hotel. I think we got in there, and when it was all said and done, I bet we didn't spend more than $1,200 for the whole week.
That's a good one.
But that's been 18 years ago, something like that. It's been a while. So, but still, you ain't getting that deal anymore. So, anyway, speaking of all kind of crazy nonsense, switching over to, that new Birds of Prey, that's the Harley Quinn movie, which is the follow-up from the, what was it? Was it?
It wasn't a Joker. It was that other one that, basically, they took a movie that nobody can remember.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that nobody went to see.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what it needs? It needs a sequel.
It needs a sequel. That's what it needs. When a movie sucks, let's drop the main actor, which was Will Smith, because if he didn't bring it in at the box office, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just we'll do a sequel, just women only. And I'm sick of these movies that are all about empowering women. Okay, that's great. That's great. That's fantastic. But women, you don't need a superhero to empower you, right? You don't need a fictional character to empower you as a woman. And they all flopped. Little Women flopped. That wasn't a superhero movie. Little Women flopped.
I mean, the only one
what happened, Candace?
I think the only one I like was Salt.
Salt?
With Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, well, I just like Angelina Jolie. I'd empower her.
Yeah.
Candace lost it over there. Did I say something wrong? Did I say something wrong, Candace?
No, I would have to agree with you. Like, Little Women was a very disappointing action film.
It was a horrible action film.
Especially for, like, female superheroes.
Bombed. There was no explosions. Nobody died. Nobody jumped out of anything
Michael
or
Bay
into
does
anything.
Little Women.
Somebody died.
In a world. In a world where the women are little and Michael Bay is the director, we bring you Emma. This time it's personal. Emily Bronte's. What's eating you, Virginia Woolf? Flowers in the attic. You. I'm sorry, Candace. I'm sorry. No action movies. They're just not going to work because, and everybody was pissed off because here comes the woke left again. They were mad because all of the men were giving bad reviews to Birds of Prey. That's because it's men that go see action movies.
Yeah, men that go see comic book movies.
Yeah.
Predominantly, except maybe the Avengers thing. I think that had a lot of crossover. Besides that, yeah.
I mean, women love. There was an appeal with the Avengers thing because let's face it, you got all these good-looking guys, right, that are playing all the parts, and we were stuck with Scarlett Johansson, and that was it, right?
Stop.
And then they did the Captain Marvel thing and made her a woman, and she was a weirdo, and that bombed. And didn't it bomb? Captain Marvel didn't do so great.
I bet you that the one that's going to do well is Black Widow. When Black Widow comes out,
I'm going to
see
that.
Yeah.
Again, it's Scarlett,
So that one I think is going to do good. That'll be one of the ones that breaks the mold.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. I mean, it's like, Charlie's Angels didn't do that well.
Yeah, the newest one.
I don't think the newest one. And
how many times?
The female Ghostbusters bombed, and it was our fault for saying it was a bad movie when it was a bad movie.
And the Ocean's 11 one or whatever it was with the girls with Sandra Bullock, that didn't do so well.
Right, and they had to walk back. They remember when they came out and they said, well, the new 007 is going to be a woman. And like, no, she really isn't. Yeah. The 007 is going to go in. All the women got all, the left was like, yay, it's going to be a woman. And then they come to find out that the plot line is that the guy 007 needs to go save her.
Yeah, exactly. She's a 00, but bitch done got in trouble. You know what I'm talking about? Little woman, got to save them little women. We're here for you, little women. That's right. Woke left. They're getting a real world, man. I said it last week, and I hope it pissed some people off, where I said, you want equality. There's plenty of jobs out there for women. You can lay bricks. You can pour concrete.
Yep.
You can haul stone. There's so many things. Right now, outside the studio, there are men on scissor lifts that are 40, 50, 60 feet in the air. They've been pressure washing this building. They've been painting this building. They've been working on it for weeks. Yeah, with rollers.
This building is huge for people that don't know. Like this is like football fields long. And I thought they'd spray. I thought they'd have the can of spray. No, they got guys with rollers.
They got rollers.
Yeah.
But there's no women applying for that job.
No.
There's not. They want the C-level executive. They want the office jobs.
But the dirty little secret is, I bet you that company is owned by a woman, because that's how you get the government contracts.
Based on what I see, I think they're owned by a minority.
Yes, but so they get in the minority business thing.
Same
But
deal.
That's like, there's so many people I know that their companies are technically owned by their wives. Yeah. So they can get that scam with the minority and women business.
I've been a part of said scam. Years ago, I had a company that was owned by a female friend. Yeah, she was the president, CEO, 100%. She didn't do shit. But we got that deal. Oh yeah. So I'm all for you women, man. I like the name of that, Birds of Prey. and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. So what they're doing is they're renaming it. They're giving it a new title in order. That's the whole deal. They're naming it Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, right? So apparently it was sucking, and they decided that. But I kind of like that original weird name. You can't remember it, but it's kind of funny, right? And Margot Robbie's a smoke. She's hot. She's a smoke show, right? They have to ugly her up for that Harley Quinn role.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't believe that a 10-word title wasn't rolling off anybody's tongue.
Yeah.
And to go see the movie. But yeah.
Mary Poppins and the crazy little kids she raised want a spoon full of sugar and all their wild and crazy adventures.
I'm rushing out to see that.
Yeah, everybody. I got to get a ticket. It doesn't even fit on the stub. Doesn't even fit on the stub, Robbie, you know.
It's absolutely.
Oh, my gosh. Rob, thank you for doing what you do with the Blaze, and thank you for continuing to stir it up. Get online. Get your Nancy Pelosi Sucks pen. You can go to nancypelosisuckspen.com, which could be.
Oh, it gets close to something that it should not be, yes.
The best URL I've ever heard of, nancypelosisuckspen.com. I love working with the Blaze. I love this Blaze family because it's irreverent. Yeah. There's nothing off limits. There are no sacred cows except for Glenn Beck. And I'm not calling you a cow, Glenn. But it's just, that's the deal. You know, we have to bow down. And we do, when we come in the studio and Glenn's in studio, we do have to go by. And if he's in his glass office, we have to kiss the glass. That's the deal.
Little genuflect.
Yeah. That's it. Pretty much. That's it. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for hanging out in Studio 22. You guys hang around one more second, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Hang tight. Folks, the Chad Prather Show is made possible by people like you. Folks that tune in, subscribe to the YouTube channel, watch us on BlazeTV, and I encourage you, get blazetv.com. Go there and subscribe and get the whole year. You need to do that anyway because it has all these voices that are here. Great voices, folks that have diversity of thought, but also independent thinkers with free speech, and you can't be censored. So go get it. And I encourage people to go to watchchad.com, find me out on the road. Come on, we're having a ton of fun, and I want you guys to come hang out with us and have some laughs because God knows, if you listen to all of this nonsense that we're talking about in these off-the-rail segments, this is real stuff that's going on around the world. We may be dead next year. Who knows? The coronavirus may run out. Don't watch Contagion. Don't watch Outbreak. It'll scare you half to death because this is real-life stuff. So come out and have some laughs because God knows it may be your last. But go to watchchad.com. Get all the fun stuff, all of the merch that we mentioned. From Blaze TV, you can get it right there. We got a little podcast merch link, so go in there and get it. And don't forget, leave us a rating and a review wherever podcasts are offered. 5 stars and 5 stars only because that's what we deserve. So I want to say thank you to my good buddy for hanging out with us, Mr. Rob Eno of Blaze TV. Thanks to Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians, and, of course, the puppet master Mark, who makes all of this magic happen. I love y'all. God bless. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.